The SLOP Podcast, episode 23, is brought to you by The Denim Doctor. Obviously, you're a QT student.
Yes.
Right? And so the way that I found your music was because you submitted a song to be made as a music video.
Yeah.
And I'm a film student, and I remember going through the list and then hearing the Swim, the big single, as everybody is aware, and being like, damn, I really want to make a music video out of this. But then it got taken by some other group. But what happened to that video? Because I saw that video and it was really good.
Oh, cool.
So did you see that? Like, what happened? What's your involvement in that?
Yeah, well, I saw it. I obviously filmed a little bit of it in this building actually.
Oh,
like
cool.
Just playing guitar, and they had like a screen in the back and stuff. Yeah, it was really sick. I wasn't actually going to release a music video for that song though, because I was since that's my first big single and stuff, I wanted to really strategize it, and I wanted to there was a talk about a music video, but if I had to put a music video out, that would have been a massive delay on the next single, and I wanted to put the next single out straight away. But then
That's a good point.
all this stuff ended up happening, and then the single still isn't even out. So it was just all this stuff about strategy, and then the strategy going not to plan. But I've learned a lot from that, and like, what else could I ask for, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, but I thought that was a really sick music video. It was actually really cool.
Well, was it interesting having other people sort of like interpret it and then like sort of come to you? Like, were they like asking you about it, and then did you sort of did you learn anything about the song from that experience of making that?
Yeah, that's a really good point actually. Like, I definitely saw it from a different perspective. 'Cause I really love like throwing like my interpretation of something to someone and then seeing what they do with it. So I didn't actually want to be involved in like whatever they did with like the creative process. I just wanted to like see it at the end, because I find that really exciting. But then yeah, and then I saw it and I was like, that's really sick. So yeah, I didn't have any like input in like the scenes obviously.
Cool.
But I was really intrigued by what they came up with.
Awesome. Well, this is episode 23 of the SLOP Podcast, an interview series that fills your ears with wild discussions, fascinating insights, and unique stories. I got that wrong, but Australia's most promising creators, yada, yada, yada. This is the 23rd episode. If people haven't heard this before, head over to theslopshack.com. There's a whole bunch more of it. You can find the occasional... We did a film festival once.
Oh, decent. Yeah.
So come to the next one.
Yeah.
That was
absolutely.
cool. And you can listen on Spotify and iTunes, which people always forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you find... Actually, I was going to ask later, but I want to skip to it right now.
Yeah.
Because it's relevant to us, I guess. Where do people listen to your stuff the most?
Oh, I think Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spotify, I guess Apple Music. And yeah, I guess that's it, hey.
Like when you put out Swim, did you like... I'm assuming that it went through like something like DistroKid where it just goes up on everything.
Yeah, I did put it on everything though, yeah.
Yeah. So then but how do you like... If you like go listen to my song, how like do you try to send people to a specific place, or you just... people will find it?
Oh, I kind of just say like I think most people say Spotify, iTunes, and every other platform, because you know everyone knows Spotify and iTunes, but there are like so many platforms. But yeah, lots of people have their preference. But there's like a little button you can press when you distribute music that just says like all of them, and you pay like a little bit extra. But like, why would you not press it?
It's like just a whole bunch of boxes and just all.
Yeah.
And you just hit the red button. It just disappears.
Explodes.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't guess already, this is Hope D, a.k.a. Hope Defteros.
Yeah, nice.
Fuck yeah, I got that one right.
Very good.
What is the origins of the last name?
Greek.
Greek. I thought so.
Yeah.
Didn't want to just throw Greek in there in case
Yeah.
it was something else. but
Don't assume.
Very cool. Very cool. Is part of the reason you called yourself Hope D because people get the last name wrong?
Yes, 100.
Yeah.
That is exactly why I changed it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, it's a cool name. It
Thank
works
you.
out. My first question, as we were joking before, was, do you think you're an optimistic person? Do you think your name, like, influences your own, like, you know, feeling? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you're like, oh, I am called Hope.
Oh, I see what you mean. I forget that sometimes.
It's a bit of a joke.
Yeah, I kind of no, that's good. I kind of disassociate. When I was like growing up in school and stuff in grade 2, people didn't believe my name was Hope. They just thought it was a word that they used on the daily, you know, like,
Right.
and they'd like
okay.
run up to me and they'd be like, I hope you have a nice day, Hope. And I'd run off crying.
Kids are assholes.
I know.
Fuck.
Assholes. And then,
Oh.
And then they'll also like say, "Can you hear me? Deaf to us? Or are you deaf?"
God.
Yeah, I know. It's a traumatic childhood.
Oh,
But
I mean, look at you now, right? Fuck
me
you
now.
guys.
Fuck you guys.
We're gonna send this straight to. Do you remember their names?
Ella. I'm kidding.
This is your time to really, hit back.
Yeah.
That's classic. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for
we
having
really
me.
appreciate it. All right, we're gonna actually start this for real. But first, we have a sponsor for today's episode. Today, we are brought to you, the SLOP Podcast, episode 23 is brought to you by The Denim Doctor. The Denim Doctor is a sustainable upcycling fashion business that revamps pre-loved denim with personalized designs.
Nice.
So, from what I've heard and from what I've seen, she'll just take denim that's been loved but needs, some actual usage, I suppose. It's just sitting out there in the dark, and then she'll put stuff together, and it's described as like a tattoo for your denim.
Oh.
But it's all custom as well. So if you you walk in and you're like, I don't know, you don't actually have I don't think she has do you just do it at home? Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, you can walk into a home, right? Into your shed. That's cool. And, you can, people can design their own things or,
You tell me what you want.
yeah.
Sometimes it's a surprise.
Well, let me try this again. You can walk into the Denim Doctor and you can give your ideas for designs, or she'll make something for you, whatever you want. But it's really cool, customized denim. Would you wear customized denim?
Absolutely.
Hope would wear customized denim. So head to Instagram.com/thedenimdoctor__ to get your personalized denim today. That was fun. We haven't had a sponsor before, so
That's sick.
that's my first time. Wait, you should do a promo code. Can we say use the promo code HOPE to get 5% off your Denim Doctor order today? Perfect. And now I believe you're going to play a song for us today.
Yes. I'll play the only single I have out right now. It's called Swim.
Awesome. I'm very excited.
Thank you.
And you'll be able to hear that song now.
Changed and so I barely spoke. And once I found who I was, I didn't tell a single soul, because a criminal is someone that I don't applaud. They kept saying I was breaking all the laws, so I will bow out. I just swim until my feet no longer hit the ground. I will understand why they say I'm sick and ill. They act as if I am a bloody criminal, so I will visit a sin for just holding somebody else's hand. I must understand why they stare in disgust. If they keep it up, I think my head will rust, so I will power adjust. Ago, I thought I'd tell the world, hey, maybe it could help my health. But anxiety inside of me told me that they'd hate me for the way I felt. So once I find who I am, I cannot tell a single soul I can't. It's out of my control, I just can't love a man. And they keep saying I am breaking the Lord's plan, so I will bow out. I just swim until my feet no longer hit the ground. I will understand why they say I'm sick and ill. They act as if I am a bloody criminal, so I will visit a sin for just holding somebody else's hand. I must drown. I will swim. My feet won't hit the ground. I will swim. I'll swim until I drown. I'll swim. My feet won't hit the ground. I just swim until my feet no longer hit the ground. I will understand why they say I'm sick and ill. They act as if I am a bloody criminal. No. Well, how is it a sin to just holding somebody else's hand? I must understand why they stare in disgust. If they keep it up, I fear my head will rust. It's so unjust if I don't swim. If I don't swim. Oh, if I don't swim. If I don't swim, I'll swim until I swim. I'll swim until I drown. I'll swim. My feet won't hit the ground. I'll swim until I drown. I'll swim. My feet won't hit the ground. I'll swim. I'll swim. I'll swim. I'll swim. Thank you. Cheers.
Perfect. Alrighty. My first question, and I really want to ask you about the gig last night because it was really cool. The two bands I didn't get to see. Yes, I didn't get there in time for that, but I was there for Sid's Balcony,
Dope.
and they were awesome.
They're sick.
And from what I heard, Lucy was really, really good as well.
Yeah, she was good.
But how did you know those guys? Like, did you ask them, or how does
Yeah.
that come together?
Awesome question. Well, like so I just got picked up from Select Agency, like a booking agent, and my agent Rob, wanted to put together a gig for the end of the year because I didn't really have many other gigs coming up. So then he organised one at the Foundry, and he was like, "What are you thinking about supports?" And I'd organised my launch for Swim in May, and I was able to organise the supports, and I really enjoy that because I get around a lot of live music, and I see some people that I really love, and I've always wanted to play with those people. So I ran into Lucy when I was walking in the Valley Mall one day, and she was playing a pod gig where she was just playing with her band, two people at the time, and then I just sat down and I was like, "Who are you?" And then she was like, and I asked for her name, like, "How do I find you on Facebook?" And she's like, it's Lucy. And I was like, okay. And then like I like went away and I was like, there's fucking a million Lucys.
Yeah, that's tough.
So I couldn't find her for ages, and then I somehow ran into her again and I saw her playing a gig, and then like finally got her Facebook and stuff, and then I kept going to her gigs and she kept on playing in lineups that I loved, and then like we became friends and we see each other all the time, and then I asked her to do this one, and I asked her to do it with the band because that's when I first saw her, because she's been doing a lot of solo stuff. Cool. So she put that together this time. It's her brother Tom and her mate Tex, who played drums, and and it was just phenomenal, and I was so happy and she was so happy that she played, and it was really great. And Sid's Balcony, I think I saw them first. They're with Vermilion, if you know
the QT record company, right?
Yeah. So that they I think I saw them at a showcase once, and I was just like, whoa, like, because they were so unique. Hey, I really love it. James, the vocalist, one of them, is just so sick, and I just love his style.
I was really digging the keys player as well.
So much attitude.
That was really cool.
But, so good. Yeah.
Awesome. No, it was funny because like before you went on, I was just chatting to a whole bunch of people, and I was like, "Oh, you guys all here to see Hope?" And then there was a few people that were like, "No, we're here for Sid's Balcony." And I was like, "That's crazy!" Like, you know, you did it. You packed a really good show. Like, it was really, really cool.
Thank you. It was awesome.
So then the Foundry, how does that, like, you have your manager or booking guy, Rob, right?
Rob, yeah, that's
Rob.
it.
So does he basically just like put out word, or did he go straight to the Foundry? Like, had you played there before?
I played there for Big Sound this year, but
Cool.
he went to them to just book the show. Yeah, he basically did like all of the background stuff that I would usually do, which is like a massive load off me. But and then he organised it, and I just had to like tell him supports, told him like just all the main information, like send him my bio and stuff so they could make the event. They're super helpful. And Foundry's hands down like my favourite venue in Brisbane, at least one of yeah, I think it's really dope.
Especially on Thursday night, the drinks were quite cheap,
Yes,
so that was really good.
the best.
Awesome. So then you have, all of the bands together. You had your merch selling there, and you also gave 50% of your ticket sales, right, to the fires, the
Yeah.
firefighters.
Mm-hmm.
Who is it going to exactly? I guess just just people, emergency services.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give it to the Vinnie's,
Yeah.
the disaster foundation. I think it goes to either funding for more firefighters to be able to like work and everything, or to people who have been affected. Either way, we've raised about $600, which is super
Wow.
dope. Yeah, I'm so excited to send
Well
it
done.
their way.
Well done to you and everyone that came, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
honestly, massive support. It's
Very
great.
cool, very cool. So you were selling merch there. You had the merch stand.
Yeah.
So how does that like sort of happen? Like, do you just like, did you design them yourself and then you just were like, you just have friends that run the merch stand? Or?
Yeah, well, the design is actually like of the swim cover, album cover work, and that's by Brian, my mate Brian Wallace, and he's incredible at what he does. He so there's this artist named Geku who's lives in London, I think, and they do like tattoo designs of balloons with like very very mature characteristics. I guess you know how balloons
with mature characteristics.
Yeah, like I say that as in because balloons are such like a kid. You think of kids and just
Right.
like kids love balloons. It's so innocent. But these balloons hold guns. These balloons are
Right,
like depressed.
okay.
These balloons are crying. And I actually went to Melbourne when they were here, and I got this tattoo here. They're holding a slingshot. I asked them to put a slingshot on it just because I wanted like some association with The Simpsons, like Bart.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
rad.
that's a bit of a massive thing. But so yeah, and then Brian did this drawing of a balloon putting a cigarette ash out on its eye, and because my friend Verika, who also loves Geku, asked Ryan to draw that for her to get it tattooed on her, and she never got it done. But I was like, damn, that is so dope, and I would love to like get tattooed by this artist. So I got tattooed by Geku, and they were in Melbourne, and then I asked Ryan to draw out like a balloon swimming, essentially like for the actual album cover of Swim, and we just used that for the t-shirt designs and like the tote designs too. And I just put out a thing on my Instagram saying like, if you want free entry tonight, if you want to sell merch, that'd be super dope. I'll pay you for it. Like,
Oh, cool.
And my two mates Mariah and Laura helped out, and they're really great at it, and they're so lovely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they looked really cool.
Yeah.
And you've got me fascinated about adult, sort of like really like scary balloons. So that's
Yeah.
very cool.
Awesome.
So you talked about like sending your bio to the Foundry. And so I'm kind of wondering, like, do you put that together yourself and then like do a whole bunch of drafts of like, this is me, and like, how long does it sort of take for you just as an artist to like work out how to describe your music in a succinct way?
Yeah, honestly, I'm so terrible at it. Like every time someone asks my genre, I'm just like,
Yeah.
music?
Yeah, so last night, a shout out to Julian Tingy and Lachlan Caldwell, who were there with me. And they both leaned over to me at separate points and said, sounds a lot like Hobo Johnson.
Oh, dope.
And I was like, so is that an influence at all? Or
100%.
Yeah, okay. There you go. Boom.
Absolutely.
They were right.
Yeah, 100%. Especially in specific verses and specific songs when I'm just like singing, spitting. Like that's, so influenced by him.
Yeah.
If
that
I'm
was
honest
awesome.
though, I love his first album, but his second album, not so much. But yeah, he's a massive influence on my music. So good on them. That's dope.
Shout out to you guys. You
Yeah.
guys win, I don't know.
Free entry to the Christmas party.
Yeah, 100%. No, so you have to send your bio in. So do you like, now that you have like Rob, for instance,
Yeah,
would you
yeah.
like show that to him, or like?
Yeah, he can, like, him and his the people he works with can totally work on that if I'm like really desperate. But usually I can send it to like my PR people or I'm a manager or something. And I should know like what to say, but I'm just like terrible with words sometimes unless they're in songs. So I always draft things up, and if I need help, that they can totally tweak it, because they it's always good to get an outside perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for people who might not know who you are, how would you describe yourself to them now?
I guess.
put you on the spot.
Yeah. No, I guess it's like I always used to describe it as acoustic, but now since it's the band stuff, it's more electric, I guess. So it's like I'll describe it as indie pop, grunge, like kind of grunge, but like indie pop, but sad, angry, happy.
Awesome. No, it makes sense. It makes sense, because I'd only heard Swim, and so when I came to the show, I was like, I wonder what the rest of the songs
Yeah,
are going
I
to be
know,
like.
which is so
And
cute. Yeah.
you started off with Birthday Cake, which was
Oh,
just
yeah.
like a total like, whoa. Like I was like, I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
So please
That's so
release that song ASAP because that song's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, no, like it took so many different turns along the way.
Yeah, yeah.
And having the band was really cool. So speaking of the band,
Yes.
did you add a member for last night?
Yeah, I did. The keys player, Michaela.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
other than that, there's Bridget,
Yes.
there's Ainsley,
Yes.
there's Jenna.
Nice.
That's right. And now you have
Michaela.
Michaela.
Awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
So how did you find them, and how did you guys sort of become a unit?
Yeah, this is a very interesting story. So, upon forming a band, I used to just always be a soloist, and I always wanted to just stick with looping by myself. I used to be like, no, I don't need anyone. Like, I can do this. Like, look at Tash Sultana. But then I kind of just before I put out Swim, some people listened to it and they said that it would sound really sick if you, like, I don't know, even just did a show with the band. Just because it would be like a massive occasion, like you're releasing your first big single that you're proud of. It'd be really cool to have like a big sound for it. And, there's only one output for my loop pedal. So instead of like 5 with 5 instruments, it's way better with the band and so many different dynamics. But anyway, so I formed the band by... I wanted to go into it by forming like an all-female band because I know there's like a big lack of that in the music industry, especially the local one. And I wanted to dig even deeper in the minority group, and I wanted us all to be queer because obviously Swim's a queer song, so obviously I'm queer. And finding that was a bit difficult. So my friend Jenna, who's the drummer, I met her at Schoolies 3 years ago now. Crazy, 3 years ago this weekend.
Yeah, that is weird.
Well, happy anniversary.
I feel old.
I know, me too.
That's weird.
But yeah, and I was just walking along the Surfers Paradise, and everyone was drunk, and then my friends were trying to get me with someone, so they were like, "Who's a lesbian?" And Jenna's like, "Lesbian."
This is such a great story.
I know,
Like,
it's so funny. And then we like, everyone's like, hook up. We're like, no. And then we left, and then someone gave Jenna my Instagram, and then she added me, and then I saw her at Laneway the next year, and it was her birthday as well, and we were like talking, and I found out she was in a band called Catchpole, which is really, really sick. They opened for Lime Cordial at Hotel Brunswick a while ago.
Cool, yeah.
Cordial, sorry. And yeah, that was really dope. And I asked her, would she ever be in another band? She's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm starting like an all-girl queer band with my solo projects. And she was so down. So that was drummer done. And then Bridget, who's the bass player and singer, I met her at Blues Fest like 2 or 3 years ago. I looked up the previous winners of the busking competition because I entered it, and it was her and her sister Monica, and they were in a duo called Maple, and sussed them out, like fell in love, and then I was playing in the finals, and she was there because she was like playing as like a last year's winner, like this is Maple, and she came up to me after and she was like, that was so good, and I was like, dude, like I love you, you're Maple, like rah, rah, rah. And it was just like this really nice like mutual admiration. And then it turned out she was going to move to Brisbane like the next year because she was studying at the con.
Okay.
And we hung out a lot, and then she started doing her solo projects and stuff, and I was looking for a bass player, and she was like, I'll do it. And I was like, that's dope. And then that was that. And then our guitarist Ainsley was in a band called Hungry for Lydia, and I just saw her play once, and then I just knew she was queer, and then I asked her. And then Michaela sound checked me for a City Sounds gig 2 years ago. She's a sound engineer, and I knew she was in a band before that, and she plays keys, and I literally asked her like last week if she would be interested in playing in the band, like for a gig, not the one last night, but for like one after. And she was like, yeah, of course. And I was like, cool. And then like last week I was like, do you want to do Thursday?
By the way, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, maybe. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, are you sure? And then she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well then it's fate. Let's do it. And then we did it. And it was just a lot of fun. I think it adds a lot to it.
Yeah, it was awesome, and it was really cool. You can't really spoil a gig, but like you started off looping, and so I was like, oh, okay, sweet, because I wasn't sure if the band was going to be there. And then you bring out the band halfway through a song, and they all have like yellow flags on everything. What were the yellow flags?
We'll see. That was the first time we've ever done something like that, especially halfway through looping.
Like,
so
I
thought
cool.
of that. Thank you. I thought of that on the day, the day before, or 2 days before. I thought that would be really cool. To do that, because it's kind of like me coming out of looping and then bringing the band. The yellow was to symbolize, I think the color of yellow symbolizes hope, I'm pretty sure. So I wanted to like start that as a thing. And also there was a videographer there to film bits for a possible music video for next year for the single that will come out in February. And we wanted to have a theme of yellow in the music video. So I thought that if we all had this like yellow bandana.
And the lights are kind of yellow.
Yeah. Jesse on sound did a really good job of that. But yeah, that's that. I kind of want to bring like a little bit of color into it.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it was really cool. So I wasn't sure if that was something you'd done at other gigs where you just brought the band
Yeah,
out.
no,
But
first time.
No, that
Yeah.
was really, really cool.
Thank you.
So then how you'll play with the band at all of the sort of future like gigs like that, I guess. But
Yeah.
like I remember there was the music video, which was how I like found Swim. And then a few months later, there was a big post that blew up on Stalker Space, like QT Stalker Space, where you were like playing, right? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
You were playing like outside, like busking or something.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
someone sent a photo of you and was like, "Who is this person? I want to listen to their music." And then
Yeah.
you jumped in the comments and like sent everyone to Swim.
Yeah.
But so do you still do stuff like that, like just like busking?
Oh,
and-
well, see, that's actually like my job. Like I do session music. So that was like QT, I think it was Open Day or one of those ones, orientation Open Day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And they pay you for that. So I was just chilling. I think I was singing "Adore" by Amy Shark, and someone filmed me and put it up, and that was really dope. That's what I do like every weekend, hopefully in the weekdays as well, to like keep my head above water.
Yeah.
Just do background music gigs and stuff. I wear a hat, put sunglasses on. I just loop like nice melodies for background music. I
Cool.
love doing that.
That's
It's
awesome.
actually a massive inspiration as well. That's actually how I wrote Swim. I was doing a cafe gig where I was just chilling, playing chords over and over, and then I started going like do 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 do, and then I quickly saved it and went home, and I was like, oh cool, and then I just started writing Swim.
Worked it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to ask was like Swim obviously just became this really big thing, right? And you haven't really released a single since. But like how did you know, like did you have some other options of singles that you wanted to put out, or did you just like Swim was just the song you put all your effort into, and did you know how much it was going to mean for you and for other people?
Yeah, that's a good one. So I was working on another song called Addict, which is actually the one we finished with last night.
Yeah. Also
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you. But yeah, and then we were thinking, like, it's so funny to think about this, but we were thinking, no, Addict is like so good that we got to put out one before that to make people really keen for Addict. And then it just turned out to be the other way around, because like Swim for me especially is just like my favorite, like most heartfelt song that I can possibly write, I think. And like I knew that it would grab a lot of people's attention because it's such a sensitive topic and such a controversial topic and such a big topic at the moment, like all the time. But yeah, like I started writing that, and we were like, oh, how about we release this first? And then we recorded it, like really loved the production of it and mixed mastered it, and then we were like, yep, okay. And we got a bit of traction before it was even out, because it got sent around to some like labels and people that were really helpful throughout the process, and they just gave really good suggestions of how to release it and stuff, and really good strategies. And then it got released, and just like the feedback just like went straight to my heart, and it was really, really nice.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, so Addict is the next single then?
No, it's going to be second instead. So like I know it always changes.
So second as the second single.
Yeah, I know.
Makes sense.
Makes it easier, yeah.
So then you have like, all of the songs that you had last night, right? Have you like been adding songs to your set list, or like are you like trying to work towards an album, or like what's the plan from here?
Yeah, I guess second for the second single next year, and then maybe another single, and then an EP, which would be half of the set list I played last night in that.
Cool.
In that, and then it's so frustrating because these songs I've been writing and even trying to record for like 2 to 3 years now, and I just keep on writing new material. So as you can imagine, like these songs just become kind of not a pain to play, but just like, damn, I'm so keen to like put this out so I can put out and play my other songs.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because it does feel like I'm stuck in a bit of like a loop in that sense, and I can't really break out of
Ironically,
it.
considering you do looping.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, and then yeah, I'm really keen to put out some new stuff. So, but to do that, I want to put out my old stuff, which isn't really old, especially to people that haven't heard it before.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's new to all of us.
Yeah,
so-
I know, exactly.
yeah.
So you know, that's a
Very
massive positive thing.
Awesome. So then what do you think in terms of, because like the show really is all about sort of like interviewing people like you to sort of find like sort of tips and things for people who haven't really had that push yet, or don't really know how to like, do some of the things that you need to do. So what do you reckon in terms of like putting out Swim? Like, is there anything in terms of like how to really get traction behind a single like that, and like sort of like platforms and how you release it and stuff? Like anything you want to give advice for?
Yeah, totally. Well, I used PR for Swim, which is like people like Gyrostream. That's who I use. They take it and they pitch it to websites and like article people and people that write about music, and that just promotes it a bit further. You pay for it and stuff, but it definitely is worth it. Like mine got a bit of traction from it, and I got some nice reviews and stuff. But obviously that's spending money. But if you have a song that you want to put out and you don't have the money for it, like if it's a good song and if you really believe in it and you want to promote it as much as you can, and you have like a great support system and you have nice people that follow you and love your music, then I think that's enough for the first song at least. It is a bit of a game, I think, the music industry in releasing songs, because it does scare me even how much music gets released every day and how much amazing music.
Totally.
It's scary because how much people get buried under like things that like just get a bit more attention.
And there's no real way to control it either.
I know,
Like you just pick a bad afternoon to
Literally.
post and that's dead.
Honestly,
Yeah.
you'd have no idea that like someone huge is releasing a song the same day and then see you later this song, But that's not always the case either. But yeah, it is tough, and it's so subjective as well. Hey,
100%.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, advice would just be just whatever feels right to you. If you have a song that really means a lot to you and stuff, and you want to put it out, then hopefully other people feel the same way and want to listen to it.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a nice answer. Very nice. You said in your bio that you were incessantly hitting stages across the city after you turned 18, I think.
Yeah.
So like we've seen a lot of this with artists that we've interviewed, where essentially they just start playing everywhere, like everywhere that they can possibly get a gig.
Yeah.
So what do you think are some of the best venues that you've worked with, and like some advice for people trying to get gigs?
Totally. Well, when I first started gigging, like when I first turned 18, I did like residencies at places in the valley like every Saturday night and stuff, just opening for bands that were coming on after, and these were like free gigs. I'd get paid like a bit of money, like $50 bar tab and stuff, and that's good, but it's also super detrimental, because if you're promoting a gig that you're doing every Saturday, and if you do one the Friday before and even the Thursday night before, then that can be pretty bad if you're doing so many gigs, because less people come in the end.
Yeah, and then you got to like the hype around the first few, and then
exactly,
it's just,
and then it's just like, damn, it's just too many.
The friends and family are like, well,
Yeah.
We've seen you.
Yeah, 3 nights in a row. But yeah, you can really oversaturate yourself. It's a great experience though, I reckon. And also, like, I met so many people doing those gigs, like so many bands that asked me to open for them later on, which was really dope. And just being able to watch them as well. And like the main reason I did that was because it was my job, and like I just needed some money. But
Makes sense.
Yeah. But the best venue is 100% like the Foundry, and I really love that one. Hey Bar is really dope as well. That's where I did the Hey Bar, the swim launch.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
Flying Cock was really cool too, but I'm so sad they're closing down. It's so
Yeah,
sad.
I don't know.
I'm even more devastated that I Like Ramen's closing. It's like the vegan ramen place that was under it. I'm not vegan, but
which one you more heard about?
The vegan place.
Yeah, okay.
The
There you
noodle
go.
place.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So Hey Bar, Foundry, anywhere else people should play?
Brightside's cool as well.
Brightside?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, one of the venues I used to play at a lot, and they do live music, and the sound's gotten pretty good. Tomcat, if you've ever been there.
Yeah.
Classic old
Been
Tomcat.
there a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely the regular.
Me too.
All of our listeners are just like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You should actually, we had our band Solo on last month, and they have their own drink at Tomcat now.
You're kidding.
So you should try and get a Hope D drink.
Cool.
But yeah, if you have a quintessential Hope D drink, you should sort that out at Tomcat. I don't know.
Definitely.
We'll work that out. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming on. That was some really good advice.
Thank you very much. No, I appreciate that.
The time goes very quickly.
Yeah. No, it does.
But yeah, thank you very much for coming on. What should people be looking for from you?
I think I have a gig in December 7th, Roma Street Parklands. So that's a gig, and then nothing until maybe January, February, and a song in February should be sick.
The second single?
Second
right?
single called
Yep.
Second, easy to remember, and hopefully a music video with that, and just a lot of stuff next year. I think next year will be really cool for all that kind of thing. But yeah, and thank you very much for having me.
All right. So thanks very much for coming on. And if you enjoyed this episode, you can check out the rest of our podcasts on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. You should subscribe and like. Should they like?
Definitely.
They should like. We'll also have a whole bunch of new shows. You can go back and check out our new cooking show. We've got our new reaction show with musician Finn Taylor. He's really cool. Yeah, thank you very much for checking this out. Till next time. Do you have like you didn't really have a sign off, but like, do you have like a catchphrase? Is it time to create one right now?
No, I don't know. No, I don't. I don't think.
Let's like. I was gonna bring it back to stay hopeful, or like don't be tone deaf, or I don't know. Don't
Keep on swimming.
keep on swimming. Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you.
Keep on swimming. All right, that's it. Boom.
Sweet.